today for our warm-up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 problems. So how we're going to do this is after, when I say pause, you're going to pause it. You're going to take about 3 minutes to complete the problem. And then I'm going to go on and explain the problem. And we're going to do that for each one. So right now, I want you to pause the video for 3 minutes while you work this out on your board. All right, welcome back. Our question says, which table could represent the equation y equals 1/10 times x? Okay? We know when I multiply anything by 1/10, all I have to do is take my number and go over one swoop, like this, whoop, for my decimal point. Okay? So I know it cannot be f because there's no decimals. It could be h, it could be g, and it could be j because they all have decimals. Okay? But it can't be h because it all ends in a 1/10. And that's not how it works. Because watch how it works. If I wanted to take a 5 and I'm going to multiply that by 1/10. Okay? Let's see how it goes. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 0 is 0. And I'm only going over, swoop, once for my decimal point, and it's going to be 0 and 5/10. Okay? So it can't be h. That works, and that works. But let's look at that 10. Let's do 10 times 1/10 and see what we get. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. If I add them together, this is what I get, but I have to swoop once for my decimal, and I get 1 by itself. So my answer is going to be G. And if I'm a great mathematician, I would check out 15, 20, and 40. But the easy way to look at it is I'm just going to swoop once for my decimal because it's by that 1/10. Okay? The next one we're going to do is this one. And I'm going to show it to you. And now what I want you to do is pause the video for about 3 minutes. Okay, we are back. Boys and girls, I want to know which table can represent the same kind of relationship that is up here. So I know that customers at a gift shop receive free stickers for every t-shirt they buy. This graph shows the relationship between X, which is the number of t-shirts bought, and Y, how many stickers these customers receive. If I get 1 shirt, I get 2 stickers. So 1 shirt gives me 2 stickers. 2 shirts gives me 4 stickers. 3 shirts gives me 6 stickers. 4 gives me 8. And 5 gives me 10. How do I get from 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 3 to 6, 4 to 8, and 5 to 10? The same way. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 gives me 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2, 8. 5 times 2 is 10. So I'm going to look for a table that has my X, multiply it by 2, and that gives me my Y. 6 times 2 is not 6, so it cannot be F. 6 times 2 is not 3, can't be H. 6 times 2 is 12. 7 times 2 is 14. 8 times 2 is 16. 9 times 2 is 18. It can be G. And look at J. 6 times 2 is not 18, so it cannot be J. My answer has to be G. Now, Let's look at this question. Pause the video for 3 minutes while you work on this on your whiteboard. All right, welcome back. I'm looking for a table. So students earned extra points on a science test for correctly answering a bonus question. The relationship between the student's original test score and their final test score, including the extra points, can be represented by y equals x plus 25. What table represents that? So that means this plus 25 must equal this. Okay? So I automatically know that I can cross off G, because if I'm adding, I should not be going down. And again, I can cross off J, because again, if I'm adding, I should not be going down. So that leaves me with F and H. 65 plus 25 is 90. 70 plus 25 is 95. 78 plus 25, 8 plus 5 is 13. 7 plus 1 is 8 plus 2 is 10. So that makes sense. And then 85 plus 25, 85, 95, 105, 110. F could work. So let's look over here. What's 72 plus 25? That's 97. 80 plus 25 gives me 105. But 83 plus 25 does not give me 98. That's 83 plus 15, so it can't be H. Your answer has to be F. For right now, again, I'm going to have you look at this, and then I want you to pause the video for about 3 minutes, and then I will go ahead and do it with you. So let's pause the video. All right, welcome back. I have a relationship. Y is x plus 2 and 5/100ths. Okay? So I'm adding 2 and 5/100ths. So that means D cannot be it because I'm going down. That means I'm subtracting. So that leaves me with A, B, or C. So let's look at A first. If I have 29 and 1/10, and I want to add my 2 and 5/100ths, I have a 5, a 1, 11, and a 3. Get 31 and 15. So it can't be this one. This works right here. Well, let's see if 31 and 15, if I add 2 and 5/100ths, what do I get? 5 plus 5 is 0. With the 1 carried a 1, so it's 10. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3, and a 3. It's actually 33 and 20/100ths. Cannot be that. My answer is this. And again, if I'm a good mathematician, I'm going to check each one of those to make sure it works. Here is our last one. I want you to press pause. Work on it for 3 minutes. Which table represents the equation y equals 3x? Okay, so 3 times x equals y. It cannot be this one because my numbers should, my y's need to be bigger than my x's. Again, my y's need to be bigger than my x's, so it can't be here. So that gives me G and J. 1 times 3 is 3, so that works. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is not 9. 4 times 3 is 12, so it can't be here. And then 7 times 3 is 21. My answer is G.